What a disappointing result that was against Cardiff is a bit of an understatement. James says, I don't want to see anybody on here defend that. Bloomfield's had this team for 7 months. The Cardiff manager has had his for 3, and we've just been outclassed on our own patch. It's utter, you know the rest. Welcome back to Where Hatters Walk. It is 20 minutes of reviewing all Luton content. Hope you're doing well. We've got Mark and Lewis back with us on a bank holiday weekend. Goodness no, I can't go through, Mark, all the negativity which is on Luton social media this weekend. I've tried to paraphrase it, but was it as bad as Twitter suggests it was?
As a neutral, it was an open, entertaining game. And I think, for me, we've been crying out to create chances. We've not been creating chances. I've said on this show before, we don't work the keeper hard enough. Well, you can't say we didn't have the chances, but I'm just worried that the lack of goals are going to have a serious impact if we don't learn how to get the ball in the net. The second half, bear in mind, we're usually stronger in the second half. I was probably more disappointed with the second half. But yeah, I mean, we'll go into the details of it, but yeah, it's just... Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's like, there were some positive performances, but there are also some performances that were just like so poor that, yeah, you're just wondering where the goals are going to come from. And we've had 2 big tests, I feel, Cardiff and Bradford, and we've failed them both.
Let's have a look at some more. Cheers for that, Mark. Lewis, Tom says... But similar to last week's kind of vein here, Bloomfield, I'm going to have your back when it goes somewhat right. But how many times are you going to allow our players to play this? You know what? Stop this 5 at the back. 4-4-2, please. We also had a terrible ref, admittedly, but we couldn't finish even if Sidney Sweeney was nude in front of us. Joke. Right then, Lewis. Is he right?
No, because... until Luton fans start to understand it doesn't matter what formation, what system we're going to play, we're still going to have the same problems. And that is we do not have a fit left back and we do not have a fit right back. So if you go into any game without a natural left back or a natural right back, doesn't matter what formation you're going to play, you're going to get the same problems. And we've only got ourselves to blame for slow recruitment, for not bringing in players in a lot sooner. So then we could get them up to match sharpness and they could be ready from game 1. We're 5 games into a season and yet we don't have fit players available to us. This is the same issue that happened last year where players weren't fit. Okay, yeah, we might have been a bit unlucky with 1 or 2, especially with Isaiah Jones with a back problem. Like, who could have predicted that literally after the first game of pre-season ends up being out injured for a couple of months with a back injury? Okay, that is unlucky. But to not have 2 left wing backs at this football club, and we haven't had 2 left wing backs at this football club in over 2 years now, even when we had Alfie Doughty at the football club, there was no backup replacement in case he got injured. And we're encountering the same problems because we're forcing players to play out of position, which impacts the balance of the team. And that's why we're not going to get the results we want. And that's why we're not going to play the way we want. Despite saying all this, though, as Mark said, it was the best attacking display so far this season. We haven't attacked like that for a very long time. I think the last time we did was against Borough in the Championship. And even that game, we still couldn't take our chances. So for me, this squad, it's a mentality issue. We don't have the confidence in front of goal. And then the moment we concede, we just lack that belief we can get that goal back into the game. And yeah, we just crumble. We crumble under the pressure. And this is going to be the issue all season because mentally we're just not up for that challenge.
Nicely summed up, Lewis. Thank you. I mean, Tom said all those points, I think, as well. Been awful all season. Scrape by rubbish and lose to anyone. It's half decent. Recruitment's poor again, Mark. Formation's not very good. Injury list is huge. And a manager seemingly already running out of ideas. And unfortunately, for the first time, I've seen a few manager jumps on the back of here. Bloomfield doesn't know how to change things. I know you won't entertain any of that, and we shouldn't because it's still 4 games in. But is he blameless in the start to this season at all for you?
I'll refer back to Lewis's comment that we were sending his name out at Peterborough. and we're 2 games down the road. I think he doesn't know. I agree with everything Lewis said, but he doesn't know his strongest lineup. Isaiah Jones is probably the biggest loss because of what he gives us, but that's down the right-hand side, not the left-hand side. But I think there's so much we don't know what's going on in terms of recruitment, who we try to get, what we've got. Bramall has come in quite late, and I presume that's one of the positions that Lewis is talking about in terms of he's a lot of people we sign are coming in with still not having had a proper pre-season or having to adjust, having to get up to speed. So that's why we're not hitting the ground running, because we've got signings that are having to use, say, the first half a dozen games to get their match sharpness and match fitness. So I think Matt doesn't know which is the best formation or how he's going to get some change or get some results out of games that aren't going our way. And I think when we get the first goal, it just proves. I think when we score the first goal, more often than not, we win or we do well, and that's been the case. All the games we scored first in, we've won, and the 2 games we haven't, Cardiff and Bradford, we haven't. And you can't say Cardiff were sort of sat back and did a block and parked the bus and all those sort of things. Cardiff are the best team I've seen this season, and I didn't really have high hopes for what they might do this year. I'd sort of written them off, and yeah, from what I saw, they're going to be a contender for this year, basically. But I mean, we've got a week left. I don't know what to expect. Matt said that a couple are going to leave, but I don't know what to expect. But yeah, for me, he's trying to work out what his strongest team is, and he's trying to find that formation based on what we've got and what position he's trying to play players in to get the most out of it. But I mean, we talked about defence, but to be honest, the forwards are my biggest worry. Naki Wales, Jerry Yates. Yes, he didn't have a pre-season, but I've not seen anything yet to get me out of my seat and get me excited. But Nordas is like the last game and a half. He's putting himself about. I thought he was my man of the match yesterday. He just really put everything into it. He was unlucky with a few chances, but out of those strikers, who's going to get us 10 to 15 goals with everybody else chipping in to have a good season?
Coming up, we're also going to look at the away kit and talk of shopping list for the final week, of course. Only 8 days left of the window this time recording. Plus, we'll talk about that Blackpool game being finally agreed not to be played, and your thoughts on that. Couple more here, Lewis, just to get your view on this one. Steve says, I thought Cardiff was superb. I felt really jealous that we can't play like that. I'm fed up of losing now. Are things going to get worse before they get better? Quite possibly. But stay strong, Hatters. Somebody will reverse the decline. Chonk it. Where are you at? You're obviously incredibly passionate Luton fan and spend your money, hard-earned money, up and down the country watching them. Do you feel a bit deflated?
I just hate going to football at the moment. For me, it's just a real disconnect, from the board amongst the fans as well. I don't think us as fans have done ourselves any favour. The atmosphere has been absolutely appalling, and it has been for months. Okay, the football hasn't been great, but the football on Saturday against Cardiff, the amount of chances which we created, we still didn't get behind the players. So we've got ourselves to blame. We're just negative. As soon as one thing bad happens, we're on the players' back. You can't go into a game like that. If you're a player and you do that bad pass, once, and then you hear like a lower like frustration, that doesn't give you the exact confidence that, okay, the next pass I can get right. So for me, I'm just so disconnected to the football club, but I'm also like, don't really want to go on social media. I don't even really want to talk football because of how everyone's acting. Like I did my own piece of content when I reacted to the game yesterday, And I read a few social media posts, and I felt like I watched a completely different game to a lot of people. People were acting like we lost 3-0. And I thought, you know what? That game could have been completely different if we took our chances. But we didn't. And that's football. That does happen. But at the same time, there are things that need to improve. And I've already mentioned what needs to improve in regards to personnel, players being in the right areas. But that comes down to recruitment and also getting players up to match speed. So I'm praying it gets better, but I think we need to do a bit more business.
Yeah, and that comes on nicely onto our next topic then. Thank you, that is. Right, Mark, shopping list, here we come. 8 days. There's lots of clubs in that league that have got a bit of money to spend. You are one of them. First of all, what is the priority between now and when I talk to you next Monday and the window shutting for you to bring in?
Oh, what's the priority? Do you know what? I sort of look at the team and think before Saturday we're crying out for some creativity. I can have an ideal shopping list, but the squad or the size of the squad is too big, and I feel we've got to get bodies out before we can get bodies in. We've got Wells, we've got Nordas, we've got Yates up front, but none of them are doing it. I just can't see them bringing in another striker unless, of course, Woodrow goes out this window. That's potentially what he might be doing. We definitely don't need another centre-back. I think I can do that. And I mean, I'm just looking forward to, I know it's not all down one person, I'm just looking forward to getting Isaiah Jones back because I think that will help the balance of the team. I honestly don't. And there's a lot of unanswered questions. You've got players like Nakamba, you've got players like Chong. What's happening with them? Are they going to stay, get fit, and be part of the first team, or does Matt see them as players that they want to move on? He said that they've had a lot of interest in some of our players, basically. I think I'm more concerned who goes out. I mean, Ali, I worry if he goes out. It's more about who goes out than who goes in for me.
Okay. Lewis, have you got your eye on anyone in particular? Any rumours flying around that you think, yeah, absolutely, they would improve us?
There's zero rumours at the moment. That's what also concerns me a bit, because normally you would like to hear some rumours at the very least, even if they're wrong, just something, just to give us a little bit of confidence that, we might bring some players through the door. But for me, we need another left wing back, as I've already mentioned. We've only got one. We can't go into a season with just having one. At the moment, I feel like the way we're trying to play this formation, the system, it relies on a couple of players being available and fit. That can't be the case. You can't go into a season when you can only rely on 2 or 3 players being fit throughout the whole year. We need to be able to change multiple ways of our playing. So I feel like we need a left wing back, and we also need another alley type of player, another wide attacking player. So if we want to, we can switch to a 4 at the back. We can switch the formation to a 4-4-2 or to a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3, wherever you want to play. I think we need 1 or 2 players that allows us to change the formation, because right now we're so rigid to play in one way because of what we've got available.
Yeah, good shouts. Burton next, Mark. Is that a new ground for you?
No. We went there, we had to go and win there to get promotion.
Of course, yeah.
In League One, and we lost that, but got promoted because of other results. So yeah, I've been there before. I've got memories of going there.
Yeah, and then of course your following game, obviously the international break, Lewis, has finally been declared by EFL not to go ahead. Is the right decision?
Yeah, I think if you've got too many international call-ups, then yeah, you're going to have to. But I think it might be a blessing for us, because I think if we need to get players up to match sharpness and fit, then maybe we can use that international break as a period to gel a bit better and get fitter. Also the game, I think it's just after the transfer window deadline. So that if we do sign anyone, it gives those new players even more time to gel with the current group.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, thank you very much. It will get better, I'm sure. I mean, Yeah, I've seen some Cardiff fans saying Luton will be up there with us with one tweet. So it's not all doom and gloom. Let's have a look then at the away shirt for this season. We are trundling through the shirts. Last week we did the home one. Mixed reviews I've seen on this one, Mark. Do you like it? Actually, let me guess. I'm going to say that you do.
It's growing on me, shall we say?
Okay.
It's growing on me. I do like it, but yeah, I'm sort of the jury's out a bit. Apparently, someone's saying that it's a different pattern on. It's obviously the same colours, but there's a different pattern on different shirts.
Okay. Yeah. Centre badges I'm never a fan of personally, but Lewis,
that's the one thing I like.
okay.
It's just something different, whereas always having the badge on the side. So
it's just centred everything, isn't it? It's got everything like you centre things in PowerPoint just running down the middle. It's a bit odd, but Lewis, are you a fan?
I don't get the blue. I know Mark's wearing a historic retro blue Luton top, but I don't get what blue's got to do with Luton Town. So I don't feel like any real connection towards it. For me, the colours for Luton should always be white, black, and orange. They're the three. And if it's a first kit, second kit, third kit, there's your three colours. I didn't really get the purple either, but then again, I'm contradicting myself because I did buy a few of the purple kits. But yeah, I don't get the blue. For me, it's not Luton, so I don't feel like a connection towards it.
What's your favourite one of all time, Mark? Just out of interest.
Well, I think back in the 80s, when we played which is our home kit this season, is the orange and navy sleeves, which is why I like the home kit so much. And I think you also remember and like kits to the whether it's a good time, whether you're successful. It's I think you always remember kits that you've done well in. So I wonder how the last year's kit will be remembered. Bear in mind that kit the relegations.
Lewis, you got a favourite that you've framed or hung up, or?
And I'm a fan of the retros. I do enjoy the retro tops. I like the 1988 Littlewoods Cup final one, as I can always remind Watford fans what winning a trophy is like. So that's one of my favourite tops. And then I also like the Bedford Trucks one. I think it's an orange it's a white top with orange sleeves, I think it is.
I've seen that one, yeah.
I like that one. So I'm a massive fan of retros.
Brilliant. All right. Let us know then in the comments what is your favourite Luton Town away shirt of all time. Right, join us next week when, of course, we're going to be going over that Burton Albion result, or whatever, of course, it is. We'll be slamming shut the window, of course, and hopefully giving an overall grade as to how Luton have done, and also looking at the third shirt as well. So join us for that. Thank you very much, you two. I'll let you have a great bank holiday weekend. Don't have to talk about Luton anymore, Lewis, now for 7 days at least. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great one.
Cheers. Bye.